Hello and welcome to the show. We have a great show for you today, so sit back and relax. And you know, at the top of the show, the first thing you need to do, make sure you got that pencil and paper out so you can take notes, so you can pass this information on. Because you know, here all we do is share all this great information that we have out at Pitt Community College, your college. So we want to make sure that everybody knows the great things that are going on at Pitt Community College. And today we have a great guest in the studio. He's been with us before. He's come back to share more of all of these great things that are going on at Pitt Community College. So I'm not going to sit here and just talk myself to death, because he's looking at me like he's getting ready to start again. So with that note, I'm going to welcome Mr. Jim Ensor back to the show.
Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure.
Okay, now there might be a few people that's tuned in that may have not seen you on the show, but I think probably by now everybody in Pitt County probably knows you.
Probably.
But tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Pitt Community College.
I'm the director of the Small Business Center at Pitt Community College. I also work with the HRD program, the Community Service program, and some other licensing programs that help people get ready to start a business. Okay.
Well, first of all, we talk about small business. Typically, who are we talking about when you're talking about small business?
Well, I think anybody who has an interest in it. You know, we've helped folks with PhDs start businesses. We've helped folks who didn't make it out of high school start businesses. I don't think that's what it's about. I tell people that there's three things. You have to be willing and able to learn what you need to learn. You have to be willing to work hard, or at least work a lot. And you have to be willing to make the sacrifices that you're going to have to make to run a successful business. If you're willing to do that, we can help you be a successful entrepreneur. My job's the first one. We can teach you how to run a business.
Okay.
The commitment level is kind of up to the individual.
But now, before we get so deep into this, now, and I know you're probably going to get me for this, but I'm gonna put you on the spot anyway.
Okay.
And which you probably knew I was going to do, right? And I know you don't want to. You're not going to want to take any credit for this whatsoever. But recently there was an award given to Small Business Center that's ran by you.
Yep.
At Pitt Community College. Yep. And tell us a little bit about that award so people can kind of get a understanding of really how good you guys are.
It's a Center for Excellence award. There are 58 small business centers across the state. And every year, it's a competitive process based on the numbers that we put up, the number of people we help, the number of businesses that we start, things like that. They choose a Director of the Year. And this year, they chose me.
Okay.
But I will tell you that it's the staff and the crew that I work with who make that possible.
Now that we're kind of letting people know that you guys know what you're doing.
Yes.
For sure. What would you say to a person that's watching the show right now, and and I know there are countless people out there who said, I need to start my own business. I need to start my own business. Where would you tell them to start, and what can they expect when they're trying to start a business, small business?
Well, the first thing that we offer is we do about 130 free seminars a year on everything from how to start a business to how to write a business plan, how to get the money you need for your business, marketing, human resources, legal issues, all those things.
Now, all those things you just said, it was a word that came out of your mouth about the seminars that I want to make sure they heard that. What was that word?
That big word is
that
free.
Big word.
Free.
Free.
Yeah. We say it's free. It's not free. You've already paid for it with your state tax dollars. We don't charge you again. So you kind of pay for it whether you come in and take advantage of it or not.
Right. Okay.
You can see the full list of those seminars if you go on the internet at nsbcn.net. It's not .org or .com. It's .net. It's North Carolina Small Business Center Network .net.
Now these seminars, I know we're talking about people who have this aspiration of thinking about a small business, or where do I get started, how do I get started? All those questions pop to mind. But with these free seminars, since we're on it, how about a person that's already in business that want to enhance their thinking about their business? Can they take these seminars too?
Absolutely. Usually we do seminars just about every Tuesday and Thursday evening in the Greenville Center. Usually the ones on Thursday evenings are geared more towards the folks who are interested in starting a business. The Tuesday evening seminars are geared more towards existing business owners. But we don't just do them at the Greenville Center. We do them in Farmville, we do them in Ayden, we do them in Uptown Greenville.
Right.
And anywhere folks can draw a crowd, we got a message, right?
Okay.
We also, in addition to those seminars, probably the thing that's most useful to the existing business owners is we also have that big word free one-on-one business consulting, where you make an appointment, you come in, and we have a full-time business counselor. Her name is Shireen Berkowitz. You can meet with her, you can meet with me. We both have run our own businesses. We've both been doing this a little while now.
Right.
And that might be a little more appropriate for an existing business owner, because the first thing we do when we sit down with you is we sign a confidentiality agreement. So we don't put your business in the streets unless you tell us to. Right. And if you tell us to, we're going to talk about you everywhere we go.
Everywhere you go. Okay.
But because every business is different, every business is unique, every business owner is unique. So there are some of those individual issues that we want to talk about one-on-one that we might not be comfortable discussing in front of a classroom full of people.
Well, I know, normally every time I have you here, I want to make sure that a couple of questions get answered that people are thinking about. And one of the things when you start a small business, people have this idea that there's money just floating around out there everywhere or whatever, and I can go in and you can teach me. I want you to teach me how to write a grant so I can just get money and go into a business. But it's really not as simple as that.
It's not. I tell you, I've been doing this for probably a little over 30 years now. I've never seen a for-profit business get a grant.
Right.
There's not a federal agency or a state agency or a local government agency that's responsible for giving you money to start a business with. Right. There are a couple of things that are close, but it really is a matter of putting together the plan, vetting that, making sure that it's a legitimate business, and then going out and looking for the money. Right. And there's money out there, but it's probably not going to be free money. Right. There's not a whole lot of that. I always tell people the line for the free money starts behind me. Right. Because if I find it, if I find it, I'm going to get it. But that's we also tell people not to give up on it because they can't find the money. Right now. Right. I always say that if the business is right and the time is right, the money will find you. It always does. It always does. Now,
on an average, how many people you say in an area like Pitt County, you're probably used to now, of the number of people that's trying to start a business, maybe on an average per year, through you guys anyway?
We usually work with around 225 entrepreneurs a year. That's in the one-on-one sessions. We have 1,600 people who attend the seminars. And then some of the other outreach events that we do, we figure that we serve somewhere around 3,000 people a year.
And that's and the typical questions that you get from people that want to start a business. What would you say be probably the first top two questions that you get from a person that's just got it on their mind and they're coming in and you're giving them counseling that they may just stir up? What is that number one, number two question?
Well, money is almost always number one.
Right.
But we try and save that for a little later. We want to see is it a viable business? So are there people who want to buy what it is that you're selling? And a lot of us have that misconception that my product or my service is for everybody. Right. It's not. Right. We find that 20% of folks' customers provide them with 80% of their revenue. So we look for a target market. We look for that group of people. Who are the 20% of your customers that are going to bring you 80% of your revenue? And then we match that information with census data and some other research that we have available and see if there's enough folks in that market that you want to run your business in who are there to support your business. And that takes some research and that takes some time. But that's where we like to start.
Now, a person come to you with their own business plan. When you take a look at that plan, is it your job to look at the plan and kind of revamp it or talk to them about redoing the plan, or how do you handle a person that comes in with their own business plan versus a person that come in with no business plan?
Well, if they come in with a business plan, we sit down and read it, we review it, we make suggestions. What we try and do is get that business plan to a point where the people who are going to be looking at it are impressed by it.
Right.
A lot of times when you're in front of a banker or an investor or somebody like that, you get one shot.
Right. Exactly.
And it needs to look good. That's a promise that we make to people is that if you're putting together a loan package, you're writing a business plan, you're preparing a document like that to give to other people. If you'll work with us and follow our suggestions, I promise you're not going to walk in there with something that's going to embarrass you.
Right. Okay. Now, and a person that come in that don't understand a business plan, how do you get them to begin to understand along that line?
Well, we have an outline that we use, and we go over that outline step by step. We approach it one section at a time. We can do that face to face. We can give you some homework, have you work on a section and bring it back in or email it in. We kind of work it at the client's own pace.
Right.
We'll go as fast as you want to go. We'll go as slow as you want to go. The important thing for us is that you learn the process and that you learn how to do it. Because if you're an entrepreneur, this probably isn't your only idea.
Right. Oh, okay. Now, it sounds like you guys got a lot, and I wanted to focus on the Small Business Day, and, I'm definitely going to, for those of you who are watching, we're definitely going to have him back on the show because, at the top of the show, he talked about how he definitely wears more than one hat out there. But I understand, because of so many people, so many small business employ so many people across the United States, how important it is. So at this particular time, before I get you out of here, I want that person is looking at you tonight, and they're thinking about, they've been thinking about starting a small business, and now they see they need to start with you. I'm going to give you that moment right now to talk to that person to get them to your doorstep.
Okay. Well, come see us. Number one, this is a service that you've already paid for, so we encourage you to come in and take advantage of it. Number two, we're pretty good at what we do, and I don't mean to brag.
But you got the awards to prove.
Well, we do.
I'm going to brag on it. Okay.
And over the last 2 years, we've helped to start 69 businesses here in Pitt County.
Right.
That's about one every 10 days. That's cranking it out.
Right.
Now that's we also need to give credit to the entrepreneurs for that.
Right.
They come in, they work hard, they get the things done that they need to get done. I don't want anybody to feel that they can't do this. One of the reasons that we have this program in North Carolina, nationwide, 80% of all businesses fail in the first 3 years.
Right.
And in the next 2 years, 80% of those folks who are left go out of business. So if we start 100 businesses today, 5 years from now, we have 4.
Right.
Well, here in North Carolina, with the Small Business Center Network and with the Small Business and Technology Development Centers, clients who stay with us for 5 years have increased that success rate to 48%.
Wow.
So it's a 48% success rate instead of a 4% success rate.
So what I'm going to tell people right now, come see him. His information is running across the screen. He's telling you what he can do. We know what he can do. And we see you have so much to talk about. So make sure you let these people know right across my show that you're going to come back and talk to us some more.
Anytime, anywhere, anyhow. I tell people I'm like an old circuit riding preacher. You draw a crowd, I got a message.
Okay, you heard it right here from Mr. Jim Ensor, and he's director of the Small Business Center at Pitt Community College. Again, wear a lot of hats, and we're going to be talking to you about that a little bit more We thank you for coming by today. And again, pass this information on to anybody in the community, your church, down the street, in your house. It doesn't matter. Give it out to somebody. Let them know Small Business Center is ready for you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week with a brand new show.